In this video, we'll take a look at one of my recent scenes and break down most of its elements such as composition, lighting, and post-process. If you want to learn more about Unreal Engine 4, how to make games using it, and all types of game development related stuff, start right now by subscribing. And now let's get straight into this breakdown. First of all, let's start with the packs I used and what I wanted to achieve. For this scene, I used two packs. First, the Procedural Landscape Ecosystem, an awesome pack with a lot of great stuff in it, very qualitative with a lot of useful props. The second pack I used was for the house. It's called the Fantasy and Medieval Architecture Kit, and it was free last month. For this scene, I wanted to try and change things a bit from the usual forests I do. And so to do that, I added an element to break things up, so I decided to go with the house. Now let's go over the placement of objects. Compositional wise, I somehow followed the rule of thirds, but there are some small mistakes I should have paid attention to, such as the house being on the right side. Why is that? Most people visualize an image from left to right, which means usually you should put your main focal point on the left side. Another thing I missed is that there's almost nothing to look at on the left side of the middle ground, other than the house in the distance, which for me is sufficient, but some might not like that choice. So overall the composition is simple, follows conventional rules, has the three main grounds, foreground, middle ground and background, nothing too special about it. For details, in the grass I mostly added small rocks to have some color variation, and for the house, small props such as barrels and the cart did the job well. In the middle ground, to break the repetitiveness of the forest, a well did the job perfectly, especially because it added another human element into the scene. And that's pretty much it about the composition. Let's get into lighting. Lighting was rather simple. The only things changed in the movable directional light were the intensity, 7 lux, enable light shafts, both occlusion and bloom, with a bloom scale of 0.2, and I also had ray trace distance fields for better lighting overall. The skylight has all its values set to default, besides the mobility, which is movable. For the skybox, I decided to go with an HDRI. I find it very nice to work with them. They offer less customization than the skybox blueprint, but they look more realistic. The most important part was the post-process. The difference between having it on and off was insane. The results looked very different. So let's go real quick over all the settings. First and foremost, bloom was set to a value of 0. Bloom is one of the major factors most scenes don't look realistic because it adds additional lighting and highlights. The exposure, both minimum and maximum, were set at 1. The chromatic aberration was 0.3, a sudden net impactful effect for the scene that added a lot to it, and for the vignette the value was 0.38. Before covering the color grading, let's go over the rendering features. Ambient occlusion is 0.66. Remember, never go too crazy with it unless you don't want to achieve a realistic scene, but more of a stylized look. The screen percent was set at 200% to get better screenshots with crisp details. Alright, now let's go over color grading. Global saturation and contrast were set at 1.1. For the shadows gain, I went with an RGB value of 0.94, 0.96 and 1. Normally this would not get me too far with color grading, or at least not as the final result looks, so I went in Photoshop and created an LOT. If you want to learn more about LOTs, there's going to be a link in the description below to a video which teaches you how to create your own. And that's everything for this video. If you have any other questions regarding this scene, let me know down below and I'll make sure to answer them. I really hope this breakdown was useful for you. Not a bunch of people do this kind of videos, so sometimes it's hard to find useful information on level design, especially when you're a beginner. If you want to learn more about Unreal Engine 4, how to make games using it and all types of game development related stuff, start right now by subscribing. Big thanks to Donald Anderson, Kama Sutra Industries, Daniel Moore, Bruno Gomez, Stefan, Badr Al-Kahtani, Roduk, and Andrew Milspog for supporting me this month. Thanks a lot for watching the video until the very end, and I'll catch you in the next one.